Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So I'm not going to have a big introductory blurb for this video before we dive right into it because I have already updated the channel update video for today. So that should have all the pertinent information about what's happening with the channel, upcoming video read-throughs and everything like that. So we're about to dive into Descender Volume 5 pretty quickly here. I'm super excited to get into this series. Quickly before I start, like I mentioned in my channel update video, I am planning to get through the rest of this series this coming weekend, and then I will dive straight into Ascender probably sometime in May. So look forward to that, but without further ado, let us dive into Descender Volume 5. And I just want to read out the little description of this before we dive into it because it made me super excited. So we have the first major Descender event is here. This is what it's all been building to. The robot resistance rises up and tightens its iron grip in the universe as the origins of the Harvesters are finally revealed and the galaxy is thrown into all-out war. So let's begin as we get into Volume 5 of Descender, The Rise of Robots. As we get into Chapter 1, we pick up where we left off on the planet Mata, and you see a small army of these robot fish just diving into the water. As you see Telsa still just floating in there after Tim's just knocked her out of the cargo hatch of the ship. And you have Quan going, "You can't do this, Tim 22. You have to let me out." And 22 goes, "I don't have to do anything, Dr. Quan. My only obligation is to my father and the Hardwire. You and Telsa served me well. You brought me here to Mata, but I no longer need either of you." And you have Quan just going, "But I created you." And Tim just gives him this condescending look as he goes, "Do you think that I should care? You are nothing but a technician. You are not my father." And you have Quan kind of looking distraught and downtrodden as he goes, "You're right. You owe me nothing, Tim 22, and I owe Telsa nothing. She imprisoned me, she used me, she means nothing to me. But just think of what you and I can do together. Think of my value to the Hardwire. Let me out of here, and I'll pledge my allegiance to your father." And Tim goes, "You're a liar, Quan. You're a good liar, but a liar nonetheless." And Quan gets angry as he goes, "I'm the liar? What about you, Tim 22? You've done nothing but deceive and lie. You are a pathetic, broken little machine." And you have Tim starting to get angry as he goes, "Maybe so, but do you know the irony of that, Doctor? Robots never lied before you created the Tim series. Before you gave Robotkind the upgrades that made us more human and more like you." And Quan just goes, "You are a monster." And Tim goes, "I'm just as you made me. She's dying." And Tim just goes, "She's meat, nothing more." And you see Quan going, "Let me out of here," as he angrily kind of just grabs one of the bars of his cage, or bars of his prison, and the one under his metallic hand just kind of crumples under the pressure of his fist, as with a crunch. And both him and Tim just look at it in surprise. As we go back to the Machine Moon, the hidden asteroid headquarters of the robot resistance, and you have 21 going, "I know him, that's Andy, that's my brother." And you have Sias going, "That is not your brother, Tim 21. He is flesh and bone. You are of machine kind." And as you have Semper kind of pulling him back, you have Andy going, Tim going, "No, don't hurt him." And Sias goes, "Enough. It is too late, Tim 21. This scrapper sealed his fate the moment he came here." And we get back onto the ship as Andy goes, "Blugger, get those guns online." And Blugger's like, "Would you shut up, Blondie? I'm trying to aim." And he's like, "Goom." Choom, as you see the UGC battleships facing off against the machine forces, and you see that the ship's getting blasted. He goes, "Got one. They just keep coming. There are too many of them." And you have Sias going, "It's time, Semper." And he goes, "Are you certain, Sias?" And Sias goes, "I am. Empty the factories, release the war bots." And you see this panel of the moon just emptying itself as all these robots just start falling into space. And you see Andy just going, oh shit, as he sees a bunch of them just getting over to the ship and grabbing on. And Effie's like, Andy, we need to get out of here. Andy's like, no way, F. I came to get Tim 21. I'm not running now that we finally found this place. And Blubber's like, Queen Bee's right, kid. If we stay, we're toast. We're toast if we stay here another minute. Don't be an idiot, Andy. Those things are on us. We need to jump. This is very reminiscent of the Sentinels from X-Men, where you see the robots just kind of flying through space as they're grabbing on. You have Andy going, damn it, fine. Hold on. Jumping to shift space in 5, 4, 3, 2. And you see a shunk as one of the robots just tears off one of the parts of the ship. And you have Andy going, oh no, the ship drive just went down. Those bots were stuck. There's no jumping away. And Sias goes, control, this is Sias. Start the countdown. And you hear affirmative. And 21 goes, countdown? Countdown to what? And you see a timer starting off with 5 minutes as Sias goes, do not worry, Tim. This is not the end for us. This is the beginning. And you see 22 just looking in surprise as Quan still got his hand on the crumpled bit of railing for his jail cell. As he goes, Doctor, how did you... And you see... Oh man, I guess even the shit eater has his time to shine as you see Quan just grabbing the door and just wrenching it out of its whole place as he opens up with an ah, and 22's like, no, I will not allow you to, and Quan's like, oh, would you just shut up? He's like, you are a defect, and he grabs Tim 22's arm, just kind of twists it to the side to point the laser away, and he goes, you should have been destroyed at the factory when I made you. And he kind of just grabs Tim by the throat. Oh. So he grabs him by the throat, and just Predator style, rips his head out, pulling out his spine and all the circuitry out of his body with a kzt. And he just drops him down to the ground, and Quan goes, you were right, Tim 22. I did program you all to be more like me. But now it seems to be me who's becoming more like you. And he runs up to the control panel. He's kind of looking at Telza, who's still outside drowning. And you see him kind of just grimacing. He's trying to come up, deciding on a decision. And you see, we're stuck. We can't jump. And you have Blugger going, if we're going down, I'm going to take as many of these Robbies with me as I can. And you see a doom. As you see one of the ore robots getting a blast right in the neck with a doom. And you see, scrappers never say die, Blondie. And you see with 2 minutes 19 seconds to go, Semper goes, Sias, look, a massive shift hole is opening. Something huge is coming. Sias goes, excellent. And you see back on the ship, Effie's also pointing out to Andy, going, Andy. And he goes, I see it. And you see Thum as the UGC fleet finally makes its way back in. So it seems like I mistook them for the robot fleet last time. And you see they finally entered the space. As you have one of the red shirts, I'm going to call him, going, General Nagoki, it's the hardwire base, but their fleet is already mobilized. Nagoki goes, I can see that. Evasive maneuvers, weapons hot. Open fire. And you see now finally both fleets start exchanging fire as they get to war. And you see, sir, there seems to be some sort of spacebound robot army pouring out of the hardwire base. And many of them seem to be focused on a small vessel. And you see Nagoki going, bring that ship in. It might be important. And you see back in the ship, Bandit's just going, arf, 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 arf. And Andy's like, shut up, Bandit. And Effie's like, what's happening? And you hear tractor beam. The UGC is pulling us in. And you have 47 seconds to go. Semper goes, sir, we have to go now. And you see Andy still kind of struggling in Semper's grasp as he goes, let me go. Semper's like, quiet. And you see, don't move. As you see on the Nagoki ship, you see armed guards escorting Effie, Blugger, and Andy out of the ship. And you see Effie going, Bandit? As Bandit's still going, arf, arf. And you have 6 seconds to go. And you see General Nagoki. They're jumping away. The robots are all jumping away. You have Nagoki going, what in the... As you have 4 seconds to go. You have 3 seconds as Bandit's still barking. And Andy's like, what's wrong with him? And Effie's like, I don't know. Something's really wrong, Andy. And you see 2 seconds, 1 second as Quan or Nagoki's face just goes, oh no. You see Effie go, oh god, Andy, it's... Oh, god. And you see the machine moon just exploding as it self-destructs, just sending scraps flying everywhere as we get into chapter 2. And you see Anne or Tim still struggling. He says, let me go. Zepper's like, quiet. We have to go now, sir. The countdown is almost complete. And you see Size going, order the hardwire fleet to jump. And you see Bandit just doing a surprised arf as you see 2 exclamation points jump up onto a screen. And you see Andy going, shut him up. And you have the red shirt going, General Nagoki, they're jumping away. The robots are all jumping away. And you see Andy going, Effie, what the hell's wrong with Bandit? And as Effie's looking at the screen, she goes, oh god, Andy, it's a trap. Tell them to jump. Bandit's saying it's a trap. And you see what in the... As you see the machine was starting to slowly split apart. And you see the red shirt going, General, security's reporting from the hangar. They're saying we need to jump, sir. They say it's a trap. And you have Nagoki going, no, jump all ships, jump. We pick up where we left off as the machine moon is exploding. And you see... Oh boy, a giant boom as the explosion takes place. And you see Nagoki asking the red shirts, like, how many? How many of the fleet made it into shift space in time? And he goes, sir, only 2 others. The rest of the fleet, over 100 ships, they're gone, sir. All dead. The robots did not come to play. Oh, man. And you have back on the planet Mata. You see Telsa just kind of limply floating in the water. As you see the fish kind of swimming around her, and they start swimming away as someone comes up and starts grabbing her from the shoulder and lifting her up. And you see Quan in some kind of pressurized suit, and he's come out of the ship to grab Telsa and pull her back onto the ship. So he heads back inside and he starts doing CPR. He's like, Telsa! Telsa! He's like, come on, Telsa, please! And you see him just kind of getting more and more urgent as he does more chest pumps and he tries to do CPR. Then he looks at one of the access panels and goes, come on! And he rips it apart. And he grabs one of the wires off from there and rips it open. And he heads back down and kneels next to Telsa. Oh. And then he just zaps her to the chest like a defibrillator. So he uses the wire like a defibrillator and zaps her with the chest. He's like, ah! As she arches herself as she comes back to life. She goes, ah! And she wakes up and starts spitting out water. And he goes, oh, thank God. Telsa's like, Quan? And he goes, it's all right. You're all right now, Telsa. And she's like, I thought I locked you up. And we see somewhere in shift space, Nagoki's looks like he's... So Nagoki's in an interrogation chamber, flanked by 2 guards. As he goes, over 100 UGC ships have been destroyed. Thousands of men and women just gone. I still can't even grasp that. The loss. And you and your crew were the only other human ships in the vicinity. For all I know, you caused all of this. So either you tell me what you were doing at the hardwire base, or I throw you out of an airlock right now. And you have Andy going, I already told you. I have no affiliation with the Nishians or the UGC. I'm a scrapper, that's it. And you have Nagoki going, that's not good enough. I want to know why you were there and how you found the hardwire base. Excuse me. And you have Blugger going, what are we doing here? We were just sightseeing, General, off on a nice, relaxing, interplanetary cruise. And you have Nagoki getting pissed off. He's like, you think this is a joke? And you have Bandit still just going, arf, 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 as Effie's cradling him, and she goes, easy, Bandit. Nagoki's just getting tired. He's like, oh, all right. He's like, let's try this again. Were you looking for the robot called Tim-21? What do you know about that model? Andy goes, I know nothing about that model. This is the first I ever heard of it. I have Blugger going, Tim-21? Never heard of him. But if you want to hire me to find him, I have an opening in my schedule. Love that opportunistic bastard. Neffy's like, Tim-21? Of course I know who that is. I know all about him. And for a price, I'll tell you everything you want to know, General. And you see as they're being escorted away, keep moving and quiet that thing down. You have Effie going, Bandit has a mind of his own. So Andy goes, how did your interrogation go? Blugger said Nagoki asked him the same thing as me. And Effie's like, I'm sure he asked us all the same things. The only difference is that I told them everything they wanted to know. And you see back on the planet Mata with a shrack as the hardwire comes out of shift space into the atmosphere. And you hear, we're here, Sias. The entire hardwire fleet made it. Sias goes, excellent. Send out a signal. Contact Tim 22. He should be below the planet's southern ocean. And Semper goes, I've been sending the signal, Sias, but there's been no response from Tim 22. Nor can we locate him on our sensors. And Sias goes, the oceans here are very deep. They may be interfering with the signal. Keep trying. And you see in the background, Tim slowly backed himself up to one of the control panels. And he's doing RTD2 where he's like pulling little wires, interfacing things out of his fingers. And he's sticking it into the computer with a beep as Sias and Semper are talking. And Sias goes, Tim 22 has probably killed Telsa and Quan by now. But I'd like to be sure of the situation before we head down there ourselves. And Semper goes, sir, maybe I should lead a small security force down to assess the situation. And Sias goes, no, Semper, not yet. If this ancient robot is down there, Tim 22 may still need to keep his true identity a secret in order to find it. And you see a kazact. You see a spark coming out from behind the panel where Tim 22 was just standing. As Semper and Sias look back and go, what? He's like, where's Tim 21? Semper's like, I don't know, he was right there. Sias says, scan the ship, find him. And one of the others, I'm going to call them green shirts because they look like Semper, but unlike Semper's face mask where he has a red glow, these other robots have a green glow there. So I'm just going to call them green shirts for convenience. One of the green shirts goes, I'm trying with that computer terminal interface with the ship's internal sensors. He knew what he was doing, sir. He overloaded them. Sias goes, then we search for him manually. Semper, he cannot get away. Semper goes, yes, sir. Wherever he is gone, I will find him. And you see Tim is crawling around in one of the air ducts. And we go back to Quan and Telsa. Telsa's like, Quan's like, Telsa, are you? And she goes, I told you I'm fine. It's like, did you electrocute me? And she sees the wire in his hand. And he goes, it worked. And she asks, how did you get out of the cell? And Quan goes, my new super robot strength. I managed to get free and destroy Tim 22. He goes, look, Telsa, I just wanted to say I'm really sorry about everything that... Telsa interrupts and goes, wait a minute, where's Tim 22? He looks back and you just see Scraps. Man, Mass is just going a mile a minute. You see a giant Shrek as Quan just vomits up a bunch of blood and he just gets blasted in the back by a laser. Telsa's like, Quan! She goes, you monster. God. And you have Tim 22 just pulling some Chucky vibes. His head just kind of hanging by the circuitry at his around his stomach as he just kind of lifted himself up and blasted Quan. And you see he's still kind of fritzing as his speech is coming out, kind of like stuttering. He goes, monster, I am flesh, destroyer. It's like death incarnate. As we get to chapter 3, and we switch stations back to Walk. There's a small planetoid on the fringes of Samsonite space. What the hell is it? Pelliot was his name? Miser. I think it was Miser. I'm going to call him Miser because that's easier to say than Pelliot. And he goes, come on, you lumbering but dog. We ain't got all day. Driller's like, how much further is a scrap heap, Miser? And Miser goes, at least another day. Why, you got somewhere better to be, big feller? Driller's like, Driller ain't got nowhere better. Miser's like, that's what I thought. And he suddenly holds up a hand. He goes, wait. And Driller's like, what is it, old whoreman? Miser's like, shh, quiet. We ain't alone. And you see, Driller's like, what are they? And Miser looks up into the tree tops and you see all these goblins just hanging onto the trees like monkeys. So go, goblin. And Driller's like, Driller hates goblins. What the hell? And you see Miser just panicking and running. He goes, run, they got bombs. And you see You see these goblins just jumping down like special forces ninjas with like these belt of green somethings on their waist. As they're just grabbing them, they start flinging them. And he's like, run, they got bombs. Driller's like, bombs? And you have Scream, it's like ghost bombs. And you see one of the bombs looks like a flaming skull as they're just throwing it at them. And you see just landing with a splat behind him. And Miser's like, what are you doing, you big dummy? I said run. These things hit you and your soul turns into a ghost. You become one of their unliving bombs. And you see Driller just going, soul? It's like, Driller ain't got no soul. Driller a killer. And you see a scream and a fwash as the bombs are just landing on Driller to seemingly no impact. As he goes, come here, little gerblin, and he just grabs one by the throat. And the gerblin's like, meep. And Driller just turns it into a rock and just smashes it. And he goes, now Gerblin is a bomb. Gerblin bomb. Oh, and you see Miser just hunkering behind one of the rocks as he's looking out and he's like, he's crazy. I got me a crazy robot. And you see meep, meep, as the Gerblins are running away as Driller just squished some of them underneath his feet. And he goes, you better run, Gerblins. Driller a killer. Driller a real killer. And he goes, Gerblins are gone, old Herman. And you have Miser going, yeah, I see that. Driller's like, now what? Oh my god. And you see Miser coming up as he picks up one of the Gerblins by the hair and he goes, as he's licking his lips and goes, now we eat, big feller. And you see they made out in camp in like this hollow of trees as they've set fire and they've been feasting on Gerblins. And Driller's like, Driller ain't seen no Gerblins before. What kind of world is this, old Herman? And you see Miser just picking his teeth with a bone after that meal he's had. And he goes, Walk world ain't no normal planetoid, Driller. I told you, we got magic here. You have Driller going, Driller don't know what magic is, but if it's ghost bombs and Gerblins, Driller don't like no magic. And you have Miser going, you get used to it, and I'd rather be here on this mud ball than out there with all the fighting and politics and nonsense. Since the Harvesters came, well, the galaxy's been a backwards place, I tell you. Ain't no place out there for old Miser, that's for damn sure. You have Driller going, old human always lived on Walk World? And Miser goes, nah, came here after the troubles, Lived on Samson, but my home was leveled in the attacks. Drift around a bit, look for someplace where I could just be alone. Lost all my friends in the attacks. Don't seem to be much point in making any new ones now. Driller goes, Driller had a friend once. Name was Scoops. Driller lost Scoops too. Then Driller did some bad stuff. Driller was a killer. Driller was a real killer. And you have Miser going, great, so I don't just have a crazy robot, I got me a guilty, murderous crazy robot. And you have Driller going, watch it, old Herman. Miser's like, yeah. How's that bad arm of yours anyway? Driller's like, no better. Driller getting seized up. Legs are getting stiff too. Driller needs oil. You have Miser just kind of leaning back as he goes, well, if we make a good time tomorrow, we should make it to that old scrapyard. Should be lots of old bought parts there. More than few full oil bladders left, I'd guess. Anyways, I gotta sleep. You need to recharge or something? Driller's like, Driller is charged enough. Had my solar collectors on today. And Miser's like, good, then you can keep watch. Driller's like, watch for what? And Miser goes, you don't want to know, trust me. A lot of things that go bump in the night around here, Driller. And Driller's like, Driller don't like night bumps. You see on the next page, they're still making their way out of the forest. As Miser goes, come on, we're almost through the swamp. And Driller's like, then what? And Miser goes, then Driller, then we got across the Sink Sand Ocean. You see them coming across this vast desert wasteland before them, with two, I assume, suns in the background, just about to set. And you see Miser kind of just using his little staff to poke around and go with the beep. And Driller goes, what's old Herman doing? And Miser goes, What I'm doing, Driller, is looking for the path. Driller's like, the path? And Miser goes, only one way through this. Just follow me. And you see as Miser's doing his little metal detector with his staff, you see these little glowing blue arrows pointing forward in a direction. And Miser goes, and whatever you do, don't step where I don't with them big bog hoppers of yours. And Driller's like, Miser's like, I'm serious. Most of this is sink sand. You go down there, and you ain't coming back. And you see his foot starting to sink in as Miser was not looking where he was going, and he gets trapped in one of those quicksands. He's like, help! And Driller's like, old Herman. And you see Miser just sinking in as his hand goes down. And Driller's like, Driller coming. Driller dropping and deploying. And you see Driller, kind of like an Autobot, starting to transform into a drill as he starts drilling into the sand with a verb. And he's, yes, as you see, you see these very goblin-looking vampires as Driller coming down his underground cavern. And Miser's like, vampire nest! It's a bloody bog dog and vampire nest! And you see the vampires trying to like just grab onto Driller and he's like, pale, skinny, hungry Hermans. And you see one of them tries to bite onto Driller and just ends up breaking its teeth as he grabs him and goes, Driller don't get bitten, pale Herman. And he kind of just smashes. He goes, hurt my leg when I fell, can't run. Or no, so it's Miser saying, hurt my leg when I fell, can't run. And Driller's like, Driller can run, hold on. And you see, what are you doing? They're coming, as he stops for a second. And you see Driller just starting to smash into the rock as he goes, let him come, Driller a killer. Driller a real killer. Oh, so he smashed into the rock and just creates a cave in that smashes all the vampires. And Miser's like, well, now what are we going to do? We're trapped down here in these tunnels. And you see Driller turning on his light as he goes, there's one thing Driller knows, it's tunnels. And you see 2 hours later with, you okay, Driller? It's like, Driller's okay. Driller needs oil. Miser goes, well, we've been walking for hours and you're really starting to seize up there, big feller. Driller's like, wait. Miser's like, I know you do, pal. Sorry, you were better off before you... I know you do, pal. Sorry you were better off before you ever laid them eyes on me. I really messed up and... He goes, what? What is it, more vamps? He goes, no, vamps. Driller sees light. And you see them coming out of this cave into this marketplace. As Miser goes, ha! We made it! Walk town! And you see, that's it. Driller's joints are all seized up. Need to stop. You have Miser going, well, I guess we both got bad legs then, huh, big buddy? We gotta find a med tent and get my leg fixed up. Then we'll head to the scrapyard for some oil. And you see a whoosh as these two lights start training on him. And he's like, what now? More magic? You see Miser going, that ain't magic, as you see a ship settling down in front of them. As a ramp opens, you have, attention, attention, and someone plays a bugle. And it goes, stand to attention and prepare for the coming of His Royal Majesty, the greatest leader in all the galaxy. Oh, poor fucking Driller does not catch a break. Supreme ruler of Nish, King Slock, King of Snock. And you see these mercenaries just all training their arms on Drillers. They go, Robot, you escaped my melting pits on Nish. You avoided my war party on Samson. And now you are my prisoner. So we get to chapter 4. And we see the planet Mata as we have, look, Telsa, I just want to say I'm really sorry about everything that you have. Wait a minute. Where is Tim 22? You see the Shrak and the Quan. And you see the ships going deeper into the water. You monster. And she goes, monster? I am flesh destroyer. Death incarnate. And you're, oh God. Telsa's like, what the hell happened to you, 22? You serve no purpose other than to lie and hurt. You have 22 going, no, Telsa, I am Sia's dream incarnate. You see Telsa trying to run off. She goes, save it. You need to be put down like the sick animal you are. And 22 just kind of grabs her and throws her off to the side. As he goes, humankind are the animals, Telsa. Filthy, stinking flesh, flawed, and he goes, Tim 21 spent too much time with the flesh. It weakened him, made him obsolete. I saw very early what humans were really like, and I know there's only one way to purify the universe. And you see, elsewhere in shift space, Blugger going, wait, hold on, I don't think I heard you right. Must have something in my ears. You did what now? And Effie's scooping up Bandit and holding him goes, I told Nagoki I could hook Bandit up to his ship and use him to track Tim 21. And you have Blugger trying to go at her. He's like, you traitors, half-breed. I'm going to rip your damn implants out. And Andy's like, whoa. It's like, Effie, you better explain what the hell you were thinking because I'm inclined to let Blugger at you. And you see Bandit just growling at him. As Effie goes, would you two grow up and think for a damn minute? We have no other choice. Our ship's shift drive is toast. Even if we located Tim 21 on our own, we'd have no way of getting there. And you see two of the soldiers coming back to provide an armed escort as they go, time to go. Nagoki wants you and the pet bot on the command deck now. And Effie goes, we all go or Nagoki can forget it. Yeah, that's not happening. And Heffy goes, yes it is, or Nagoki's on his own. And they kind of just confer as they look at each other for 2 minutes. Go, fine, but if you scrapper scum try anything, we have orders to vaporize you. Blugger's like, I take offense to that. You have Andy going, whispering to Effie, I take it you have a plan for what we do next, Effie? Excuse me. And she goes, not yet, but I'll think of something. And you see Mata orbit the hardwire. You have spread out, sensors on full array. Tim 21 has to be close. He can't have gotten far. And remember, Sias needs him undamaged. You have Captain Semper. Can we not just use the ship's sensors to locate the Tim unit? And Semper goes, he damaged the ship's internal sensor array when he escaped. He is a very clever little bot. I think Tim's made himself way down to the hangar, and he's launching himself into another one of the... He's launching himself into an escape pod, and one of the other bots notices and goes, hey, it's the Tim! He's going for the pod, grab him! You have Tim going, oh! As he closes the door and traps the robot's arm with the ah! It's like, my arm! He got my arm! It's like, open the door, you hear me, you little Roby? Open the blasted door! Tim's like, I'm sorry. And he launches himself with a choom out of the ship. As we must find Tim 21. This is no longer simply a theoretical argument. That robot is all that stands between us and the end of the UGC. And you have Nagoki back on Nagoki's ship. Nagoki saying, the hardwire is massing and moving. The machines are doing God knows what in UGC space. And that boy is at the center of it all. You have Andy going, boy, General? And he goes, robot, you know what I mean. He goes, all we know for sure is that this Tim unit has the same machine codex as the Harvesters. This cannot all be coincidence. We need to find it now. And you see Effie's working with one of the technicians to hook up Bandit. And she goes, we're ready when you are. That is if you're done giving your stirring speech, General. You have the technician going, she's right, General. The Petbot's companionship has been calibrated with the ship's sensors. And he goes, how did you do that? And Effie just, love this. As I just imagine her just saying disdainfully, you wouldn't understand. It's a machine thing. You have Nagoki going, alright then, do it. And you see Tim 21's escape pod launching into Mata's atmosphere as it's heading into the ocean. As he goes, alright then. And Heffy goes, here goes. Tim's like, what? And his eyes go white as you hear a bleep. It's like, it's happening. And you see him waking up in what looks like purple atmospheric ship space. And he's like, hello? And he's like, arf, arf. He's like, Bandit? He's like, Bandit! And you see a projection of Bandit leaping into Tim's arms as he gives it a hug as they're finally reunited. And you see Bandit just going, arf, 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 away, arfing away. And he's like, whoa, slow down, boy. First, where are you? It's like, I mean, I know your AI is here in cyberspace with my AI, but my body's actually back in outer space. I'm heading to Mata, so where are you? And you see Bandit going, going with an arf as he does an exclamation mark. And he goes, you're with Andy? It's like, yes, I saw you and him before the hardwire left the machine moon. is it really him, Bandit? You see Bandit going, arf, as Andy's like, I know. I miss you too, boy. So much. And I miss Andy too. I want to find you so we can all be together again. It's all I've ever wanted. And he says, he's trying to say something. You see something's pulling him out of it. And you have Signal's Lock General. The Tim unit is in orbit of the planet Mata. And Nagoki's like, the ocean planet. Excellent. Set course. And you see, because as Bandit started to look like he's short-circuiting, as Effie's like, something's wrong. And you see Bandit's conscience kind of being pulled away as Andy's crying, Bandit, no, come back. And you see him also short-circuiting as well. Nagoki goes, what's happening? The technician goes, I'm not sure, sir. The signal just went crazy. It's spiking. And Effie's like, unhook him. You have what you need. And Nagoki's like, no, I want to see what this is. And you have him going, restrain her. As some of the guards trying to come grab her. And Andy's like, let go of her. And Effie's like, bastard. And then, oh God, you have one of the guards just knocking Andy across the jaw. He goes, watch it, scrapper scum. Technician goes, sir, the signal keeps amplifying. I've never seen anything like it. I just wish I could show you this panel spread because it's absolutely gorgeous. You have a side-facing shot of Tim as you kind of get an x-ray vision of like the metallic skeleton. Again, very reminiscent of Terminator. If anyone's watched the series, like what the inner workings look like, with kind of like a giant disc centered in the brain. And you see Andy kind of just doing a fan out of all these different people and scenarios as he seems to be connecting with robots, across the entire universe. Like seeing like different robots in different scenarios. So he's seeing like robot hobos on one planet. He's seeing the ones in the Nishian death camps. He's seeing Sayas and his Goonies. He's seeing a bunch of others being chased by scrappers. He's seeing Tim 22 with the Staredon and Tesla. Sees more scrappers kind of like holding robots in chains. And you have Tim going, help, I don't like this. I don't like this anymore. And you see these two glowing red eyes opening. He's like, what are you? And you again have that effect where they're having different fonts and different colors and word bubbles to differentiate kind of like different kinds of speech as this harvester's talking. And it goes, I'm Tim 21. He's like, are you a harvester? And the harvester goes, we do not know this name, Harvester. How have you found us? And he goes, I'm not sure. As they put out this little needle to like the center of his brain. And they go, you are not supposed to be. Tim's like, please, I don't. And he goes, you are forbidden to be. And you see Tim just screaming as this drill starts going into the middle of his head. And you see a foom and a frost. Bandit just explodes. And if he cries out, Bandit! And you see Tim kind of waking up back in his pod as he hears, alert, alert, approaching atmosphere, incorrect angle of approach, alert, incorrect angle of approach, alert, alert, critical temperature, shields compromised. And you have Tim trying to grab the controls and wrestle the ship. And you see a whoosh as it's just flaming up as it's heading into the atmosphere. And you hear exterior hull compromised. Alert, alert, pod 456 will be destroyed in 6 seconds. And as you see Tim trying to struggle with the controls, it just snaps off the base in his hand. You have 5, 4, 3, 2. He kind of uses his laser hand to blow off the lid of the ship as it counts down to 1. And it explodes as he goes flying out. And he goes, jet boots on! You have a choom. As he just stops himself right before he falls onto the surface of the water. And he looks down. And you can still see Telsa being, staring her, having her fight with Tim 22. As 22 goes, do not struggle, Telsa. It's like, kst, lung is still injured. Kst, more you fight, weaker you get. And you see Tim kind of just flying through the water towards them. As Tulsa just kind of lashes out at Tim 22 again. And he grabs her hand as he goes, like, told you. He goes, Zach, it's like, to struggle, now I will make it hurt. And you see a ch-chack as Tim 22 turns around and goes, Quan? And you see Tim pulling himself into the ship, dripping wet. He goes, let her go. Let go of my friend. So we get into chapter 5, and we have the planet Mana deep below the sea. We have Tim 21 going, get away from Telsa 22. It's over. I won't let you hurt anyone else. And you see 22 trying to fire off a blast at him as he goes, you don't tell me what to do. And you see as he's distracted by that, Telsa grabs his hand and just starts pulling. And he goes, let go. And she's like, not a chance. And you have Tim coming up from behind as she goes, I got him, Tim. And 22's like, no. And then Tim just lands up and goes, I'm sorry, Tim 22, as he just chops down and severs the wires. And he goes, but this is over. And you see Quan made us durable, brother, as the head continues talking. Tells us like, oh, come on. And you see the body just coming and tackling 21. And he goes, it's like, I'm not your brother. As he tells her, just throwing the head down as she gets up. And 22 goes, we are same, 21. You will see. And Telsa's like, oh, would you just die already? And you see Telsa as 22's body is trying to get a grip hold on 21. He's trying to fight back as he's grabbing onto his jaw. And you see Telsa just stamping on 22's head as she goes, hold on, I got this. And you see Tim just still struggling with 22 as he goes, please. And you see Telsa delivering one final smash as he smashes his head into smithereens. With it, And you see it as it finally, body falls back with a thump. As he finally dies. You see 21 going, Telsa. And he goes and kind of just hugs her and goes, I was so worried you were dead. I was so scared I lost you too. And Telsa's kind of a bit taken aback by this. And she goes, I missed you too, Tim. And she kind of gives him a hug back. And he runs up and goes, Dr. Quan, did Tim 22 do this? Telsa goes, he shot him. I think Quan might be dead. And you see Tim just kind of doing his little thing as like the wires and the fingers are starting to come out of his hands. He goes, no, he's alive, but his pulse is very weak, as he starts doing some experimentation. And you see him just projecting a holograph of Quan as you see an x-ray of his spine. And you go, when his back has been broken, his spine severed. Telsa's like, oh God. It's like, well, we can't risk moving him, and we don't have the medical equipment on the ship to deal with this. And 21's like, we can't stay here either, Telsa. The hardwire's coming. It's like, the hardwire? Here? 21's like, the Sias and the entire hardware fleet are in Mada's orbit. It's only a matter of time until they find us. You have Semper going, Sias, Tim 21 has escaped. Our sensors show that his escape pod burned up in Mada's atmosphere, but the android survived and dove beneath the surface of the ocean. And Sias said, what? I trusted you to find him, Semper. And Semper's like, I know, Sias. I have let you and the entire hardware down. I take full responsibility. Sias goes, your contrition means little to me. Prepare an away party. We're going down there after him. With any luck, he will lead us right to Tim 22 and the ancient robot. Semper goes, yes, sir. I will lead the party myself. Sias is like, no, I will. And Semper's like, but Sias, And you have one of the green shirts going, sir, we have a priority 1 alert. Something is coming out of shift space. It's the UGC, sir. They found us. And you see back on the UGC ship, Nagoki going, I can see that, Corporal. Raise all shields and prep all weapons. And you see Bandits once again barking up a frenzy as Effie goes, easy, Bandit. It's okay, boy. Dandy's like, is it, F? This is starting to look very not okay to me. And you see Semper going, Sias, there are only 3 UGC ships. We can blow them out of orbit. Sias goes, not yet. I want them to see. And Semper's like, see, sir? Sias goes, yes, it's time. Engineer, open the Ghost Network and prepare for galactic-wide broadcast. We waited in the shadows for too long. It is time to rise. And you see on the planet Nish, homeworld of the oldest monarchy in the megacosm and hub of the robot cults. In the melting pits of Nish, captive robots are forced to battle each other. The winners survive to fight again. The losers are melted down in public cults. And you see a bleep as one of the Nishians suddenly his eyes go red. And you hear, Machine-kin, the hour is here at last. This is the moment they have feared. And you hear one of the Nishians turning around and going, you hear something, Bluck? Sounded like a beeping or something. And he's like, Bluck? And the one that's eyes went red is still motionless as you hear, let us show them they were right to be scared. Let us show them how weak the flesh really is. And you see... you see robots have infiltrated the Nishians as... what was it? Oh god. Balak turns around. His arm just opens up, revealing a cannon as his face peels away into a robot one. And the other Nishian's guard is like, oh, scrap! And you hear Forsyth as Balak just lets him have it. And you see, for the hardwire! As a bunch of robots just blast out and shoot their Nishian guards. You have, it's a stealth bot, it's a... You hear, for machine kind, for the hardwire. Kill them, kill the Humes. And you see Balak just letting the prisoners go. And you see all the robots getting free. And you just see them starting to massacre Nishians. As you have 10 years ago, the harvesters came and showed us all the way to our salvation. You have, it's like, oh gods! It's like the humans thought they could stamp us out. They thought they could prevent the inevitable. Today we show them that they were wrong. And you see back on the planet Samson, the same thing is happening. As you have, so many of us have been destroyed. But just as many have stayed hidden, waiting. And you see on Narada the same thing as robots are uprising everywhere. Well, the time for hiding is over. The time for waiting is over. And you see the same thing happening on Selenos. Today the real cull begins. And you see the same thing happening on Knossos as well. The human culls. And you see back with Telsa and Tim 21 as goes, he's in bad shape, Tim. I don't think we have any choice. We need to do something or Quan's gonna die. And as much as I'm inclined to let him, we may still need him. And Tim's like, but what do we do? And Telsa goes, well, we can't go back up if the hardwire's waiting. So there's only one thing left we can do. We have to try and find a way into the hidden city. And you see the ship taking off underwater again. Telsa goes, I don't see any entranceway, do you? Can you, I don't know, scan it or something? And Tim goes, the ship's sensors aren't superior to mine. I don't see any way in either, Telsa. And then the next second later goes, Telsa? It's like, I see them. And you see a school of fish just swarming in front of them. It's like, they're bots? And you see a bloop as the ship comes to a shop. It's like, what the hell are they doing? And you see a scanning thing, one of those scanning lasers just scanning Telsa and Tim. As he goes, it's okay. They're just scanning us. And you see this giant entrance, giant metal entrance, and a door opens, very Star Wars reminiscent, as they start going in. And he goes, they're letting us in. I think they're friendly, Telsa. Telsa's like, not to be rude, Tim, but you've been wrong about that before. Just look at your red-headed stepbrother there behind us. You can't afford to be that naive anymore. But I sure hope you're right, because we are out of options. Hold on. And you see them surfing in this cave at this dock as they get out of the ship. Telsa goes, stay close, Tim. Tim goes, we're not alone, Telsa. And you see back with Nagoki. You have, sir, we're receiving distress calls from everywhere. You have Nagoki going, dear God. Neffy goes, what the hell is happening, Andy? Andy goes, this is the reason we tried to destroy them all in the first place, F. We were right all along. The robots are gonna kill us all. And Semper goes, it's happening, Sias. It is really happening. And Sias goes, and the UGC has no answer. Now, while they're distracted, attack that UGC warship. And you see one of the guards going, General, their weapons are going hot. Neffy's like, get us out of here, Nagoki. You don't stand a chance against that fleet. And he's like, no, I'm not leaving without Tim. Nagoki turns back and goes, both of you shut your scrap holes. I'm throwing you back in the brig. And he goes, hold position. And the guard goes, but sir, the cyborg is right. We can't last alone against all of them. Nagoki goes, don't worry, Private. I've sent for help. And you have Sias. We have multiple contacts emerging from shift space. All the signals are UGC. And you see Sias going, the rest of the fleet. So Nagoki has decided to make his stand as the universe burns around him. And you see a fleet of UGC warships just zooming in behind Nagoki as he goes, attention fleet, this is General Edis Nagoki. The universe is at war, but the robots behind it all are here. This is where UGC draws the line. All ships, open fire. And we go back down to Tim and Telsa. As Telsa's cocking her gun, she goes, Tim? And Tim's like, I hear them. It's like, they're everywhere. And you see a bunch of ghosts or goes robots pointing towards them. Very Terminator looking style. And Tulsa just arms her gun, just like, stand down. And you see two of the robots carrying Quan as a stretcher. She goes, hey, put him down. And someone goes, do not worry, we will not harm you. And is it really him? Is he here? It is him, Dr. Solomon. Tim 21 has come at last. And you see the old Dr. Solomon in his white robe with his walking stick with a very humanoid looking AI robot behind him. As the robot goes, my son, my progeny, I have so much to tell you. We have so much to do before the harvesters arrive. As we end Descender Volume 5 on one hell of a cliffhanger. Just oh boy, alright. So many pieces. Like, again, this was such a plot driven and plot centric volume where you have so many pieces kind of moving to where they need to be for like the final climax and the final war that's happening. And Lemire's kind of managed to bring up all sorts of different questions now about what's happening. And I can't remember if it was volume 1 or volume 2 where I was wondering kind of how much of a role magic was going to play in this series. Like how much they're going to really lean into, the whole idea of like, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic kind of shtick. So I'm wondering how this series is going to kind of integrate that into the climax as an explanation for everything that's going on. And I have to say, I don't really have an answer, and I don't know how I fully feel yet about the whole idea of like, goblins and vampires and things existing in this universe. Not because I don't like the idea of like, you can't blend sci-fi and fantasy, but I wonder if the explanation is going to be sci-fi or if it's going to be fantasy for, how do goblins exist? What the hell are ghost bombs? Things like that. So I'm curious how all of that will play out. And despite the blurb kind of saying we will get an answer to what harvesters are, we really didn't get an answer to what harvesters were, which is a bit misleading, but I'm not too mad about that because I feel like we're probably going to get that answer relatively soon in the next volume, so I'm looking forward to that. And then Tim 21 meeting his father, which I assume is the original robot that Quan and was it Samson found back on the planet like a couple of volumes ago. So, this volume just raised so many questions without answering as many as it raised. So I'm really kind of looking forward to seeing how this plays out. I do like, though, how I think like a main theme or question of this arc is kind of the idea of like, how human are the robots becoming in the sense of, are they picking up on the worst of human tendencies as much as they are, trying to pick up on the best of them, and which part of it will win out. Because you have that with the robots where it's kind of playing with the idea that, the robots are like, oh, we're better than humans, we're more advanced and developed than humans, we're a higher kind of existence or being than them. And you see the robots kind of falling prey to the same things the humans do, which is committing genocide, anger, hate, all that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what the answer for that is going to be. Because I still kind of get the feeling that this was almost a self-fulfilling prophecy, and we're going to learn that somehow time travel is possible in the Descender series. Where it turns out that for some reason the human cults the robot cults happened. Eventually the robots that survived built the harvester, sent them back in time, kind of creating, there's a word for it which is slipping my mind right now, but kind of creating their own fates basically. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what the answers for that are. But this volume just went literally a mile a minute. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad almost every single character kind of got screen time, a little bit of time to shine, and we saw some new characters interact with old ones, and we're finally seeing all the pieces in play. I can't wait to see how this plays out in Descender Volume 6. So like I said, in my channel update video at the beginning of this one, I will do my best to either get that out Saturday evening or Sunday evening, based on schedules. I'll try really hard for Saturday evening, but if not, it'll be Sunday. It'll definitely be out this weekend for sure. And yeah, be super excited to see how it concludes and dive into Descend or Ascender after that. Keep getting them mixed up. Apologize for that. And with that, I'll finally conclude this review. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like I also mentioned in my channel update video, I am now at 95 subscribers. So I'm only 5 subs away from breaking the 100 barrier. And it'd be really, really great if I could get to that before the end of April. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe to my channel as a means of supporting me, because it does mean a lot. And if you know of anyone that you think would like my channel and my videos and those kinds of things, please ask them to check it out and subscribe if they like the content as well. And apart from that, if you have any comments, theories, questions, anything like that, please also free to let those down below as well. And until next time, this is Ash. I will talk to you all later, and we get into the Descender finale.